Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the pocket we did before in the previous video. I've completed that. I went ahead and I also did this pocket, and this pocket is going to go on the bodice of my jumper front. I also went ahead and completed this pocket, and this is very similar to this. The difference is that it is square around at the corners. So I'm going to be working on my sleeve. This is the sleeve that I cut for my jumper. It's just a basic pattern sleeve, and then I created that. So if you guys want to see how I make this pattern, you can let me know in the comment section and I'll do a separate video for that. And this is the sleeve, one of the sleeve complete here. The zipper here is going across the elbow. I put this one in so you can see exactly what I'm going to be doing. So what I'm going to do here is mark across 7 inches, mark across the elbow. So I'm going to show you how I put this zipper in. You have your zipper. Some zippers, they might be a bit wider, but this one, the width of it is 1 inch. What you don't want to do, this line going down here, you do not want to mark your V to come out 1 inch. If it does, you're going to end up with this opening much wider than 1 inch. What I'm going to do is mark down 3/8. Once you finish marking your 3/8 inch, then you're going to create a V. You're going to cut along this line right up to these peaks. You're going to cut right along this line up to your V. What I want to show you here is this line here. If you notice, when I cut this line, I did not go all the way in the corner. This width should not exceed this width. You open your zipper, you turn your fabric over, and then you go over to your machine and you stitch that down. I've completed the 2 sides, I stitched the 2 sides. So the next thing I'm going to do, turn this over. And you can overlock this end if you're going to leave it just like that, so you don't have that raw edge. But I'm going to be using this material and I'm going to put it right over like that. Now I'm going to go to the machine and I'm going to give this a double stitch all the way around. So this is the complete pocket that I just did. And you have that in the back. This, you don't have to have it in the back if you don't want. You could leave it open, but this is the other one. This is the back, the left back, and this is the left front. I'm going to overlock both side seams. Then I'm going to pin them together and stitch all the way down. Just put this pocket on, and I did all the different stitching that I want on it. So I'll bring this closer so you can see. For example, at the top here, I did a little design here and in the corners. And I also did the same thing here, and I stitched the corners. And this is the front pocket, as you can tell, as you can see what I did here as well. Right, so I'm going to continue with the other side, and I'm going to come back and we're going to finish the rest of the jumper. I'm going to zoom in as much as I can so you can see the different designs. So this is the breast pocket, and I showed you guys these already. This is the first one we did, the welt pocket, and this is the pocket in the back. This is the pocket that's across the knees. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so what I'm going to be working on next is the back, and the center back I have a seam in it, so I'm going to have an inverted pleat, but they're going to be a different fabric inside. So from the top of the neck here, I'll stitch down about 2 inches, and at the hem I'll do the same thing, and I'm going to come back. Okay, so I'll finish stitching the 2 ends, and I'm just going to press that open. Alright, so you have that press open, and what I'm going to do here, I have this other strip of material of a different color. I'm just going to place it on top here. So this is done, and I have my inverted pleat. The next thing I'm going to do is, right where I bring down this stitch to, so right where I bring down this stitch to, the 2 inches, I'm going to stitch from this end and come into a V to meet that point. Okay, so that's done. This is the one at the neck, and then you have the same thing here around the hip area. Okay, so my shoulders are sewn together, and I'm going to take my sleeves and put them in. That's my shoulder, that's the back, and that's the front. So right sides together, I'm going to pin the point right onto the shoulder. Okay, so the sleeves are sewn in. I went ahead and top stitch it and then close up the sides of the top part of the jumper, and also join the back, did my top stitch, and everything is ready now just to finish up the front. So before I stitch the top onto the trousers, I'm gonna first put my collar on. The side that doesn't have the interfacing, this is what I'm gonna attach to the neck. So the center notch here and the center notch here, you put those together. And when you finish that, you take your collar right at the end and you pin it to the neck end of the top. So I have this pinned on to the collar stand. So what I'm going to do next is stitch right along here, and then I'll take this end that's turned up and bring it right over, and I'll stitch along here and finish it with my top stitching. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to close up the trousers, close up the back and close up the front, and then I'm going to do my top stitch, come back and attach the trousers onto the bodice. Now I'm going to stitch the blouse onto the trousers. So I just attached the blouse onto the trousers, and I have this band here. And just to give it a little an extra touch and design, I decided to just put it across where the waist and the trousers meet. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up all of this and come back, and I'm going to try it on and let you see how it looks. Okay, so I have the jumper on the front, and I put these wooden buttons down the front here. Absolutely love these buttons. Other pockets in the front, and that's the zip in the sleeve, and this is how the shoulders are. You see how the shoulders are, and this is the exact style I'm looking for the shoulders, with that tiny peak. You see that peak? It doesn't have any pad in it or anything. It's just the way that the sleeve is cut. It just gives you that nice peak. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the video. It's been in two or three parts, because I had to do it like that. I could have finished it all, but that's okay. So like, share and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Thumbs up, everyone.